Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. Again, Rumble it is what it is, but I also publish on my blogger poster thing there. It's like it's blogger, what can I tell you? And I also post on Patreon for extra support if you can spare those little changes. And yeah, later today I'm not sure if I'm able to do the Evil Within. I will have to check, but I think I can manage something today. We already finished up with Void Busters, and I completely forgot to remove from active gameplay series here, and I need to do them in the completed gameplay series. I assume in one way or the other. No, sooner or later I will get to do like at least 4 genres kind of a thing here, so at least all it's more viewable here, like horror games, action games and all that stuff. And if, for example, like Resident Evil, as I start playing all of them, I have to put like Resident Evil kind of gameplay series here or something like that. I'm watching all of this. I'm not sure if I will ever do like remakes to a certain degree, like remake a series here, for example, like Alien Isolation or like Resident Evil 7, because I did it in 1080p, very poor quality at the time. The Evil Within one, I will not do it because I got some issues by the end of the thing there, and it's not that I didn't enjoy, but there was a lot of issues that I remember at the time. But yeah, I think I'm going to do the Tomb Raider because this is like the middle game for the trilogy, and I want to play through all the trilogy, and I will start up everything, so at least I can refresh and jog my memory regarding the story stuff. I think it will be a good way of doing the remake, and of course I will do I have to rearrange the 1080p gameplay series maybe, and 4K gameplay series, something like that. But we're still far away for that happening. Just some thoughts that pop out in my head when I start seeing all these things here. Let's go to the news. Some interesting stuff here, not huge amount of news, but some interesting stuff. MSI unveils new lineups of quantum dot OLED gaming panels. Suppose they are going to launch at or during CES 2024. I kind of enjoy some of their I enjoyed it from tech perspective and tech specifications of the monitors themselves. In terms of visually, depends a little bit. Not all of them are like visually appealing to me. I like simple stuff and like very aggressive design styles. But yeah, MSI had some QD, not OLEDs, but the LCD ones that had the quantum dot technology embedded into it. I saw a lot of hardware unboxed, videos and reviews from that specific model. I don't remember by heart because their naming scheme is completely all over the place. As you can see, it's Mag 30 in these new models. Mag 34, I know that Mag, it's like MSI, whatever it is, gaming something, and then got the PG also, then got the size, and this is like 1C, QB, QD-OLED, and the naming scheme, it's all over the place with MSI. However, they had one excellent one. I think it was a 4K that I was checking while I was and keeping track on the prices, as with the one that I eventually bought, which is the Gigabyte M28U. That monitor was also like 28 inches. They usually and they was always been recommended. It was a very good competitor to the one that I have, the Gigabyte M28U. The problem is, in my market, it was a little bit more expensive than the Gigabyte one, and they are very similar, even in terms of color. They were very, very, very similar. I'm not sure if they had like kind of the same panel. That's why I think they were very similar. But again, I don't remember the model name, but if it was on the, if it was on not on sale, if it was for sale, Usually it was a little bit more expensive, but it went out of stock here and there. I don't think in the market where I am, like Middle Eastern market, if the MSI will at that much penetration here, but gigabytes monitors have for sure. They even if they run out of stock, they got resupplied like 1 week later or something like that, and usually they maintain the supply to a certain degree in a healthy way. MSI, I'm not sure, at least in terms of monitors. But yeah, this seems pretty good. Of course, I will. If there is like, I'm not sure because all of this is like OLED. I pretty enjoy. I really enjoy OLEDs, but at this moment in time, I didn't invest in any of those, mainly because I have a lot of static stuff on my screen, and I don't want in like 2 years time, maybe 3 years time, knowing that eventually the burn-in will settle in, and I have to buy basically a new monitor because it's it's not good. While at least with the LCD, or I think it's this IPS panel, at least I know if nothing wrong happens in terms of burn-in, I will never have that issue, and usually I manage to maintain my hardware pretty much well taken care of, and I'm expecting at least 5 years of before trying to think about doing something with the monitor in terms of that. But yeah, usually the MSI is really good on their monitors, especially in the high end. And of course, we got several sizes, 34-inch and 49-inch for the 4K ones. Some of them as the curvature, which is 1800R curved panels. Of course, there are different panels here, the curved and the flat ones. I think this is like the high-end ones, 34-inch and 49-inch, which is huge amount of panel here. In terms of specifications, some supports, they will have like full support for consoles, like to HDMI 2.1 ports with 48 gigabytes bandwidth, so the full thing. Support for 120 Hz, variable refresh rate, and ALM. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I know it's very important in terms of like the color stuff or whatever it is for the console stuff. But yeah, they have the OLED Care 2.0. It's like the thing that it serves for the cooling mechanic, fanless cooling mechanic with graphene and everything, and of course HDR compatible at least 400, not mistaken. And then we have other monitors, especially on the 32-inch and the 27. So I think this is like mid to this is more aimed for esports kind of thing, because they are basically 240 Hz monitors and 360. The 360 is like 2K monitors, and the 240 are the 4K ones. WQH wide, so these are like 1440p wide monitors, and this supposedly, yeah, this is normal 4K monitors. These ones I think they're also ultra wide, yeah, the 44 and the 49, if not mistaken. It's been a research. It's been a lot of. I don't know if it is because of being OLED. It's easier to have like bigger panels, so that like the viewing angles are not that affected. But yeah, there's been a lot of ultra wide at this moment. I kind of at the time, like a lot of years ago, before 16:9 was a thing in monitor PC, I was like a late adopter on that format because I was so used to the 4:3. Then I just did the adoption to a middle ground with 16:10. I don't know. I think this is like almost for 15 years ago. When they started appearing the 16:9 monitors, it was not even OLED. It was those like old flat panels. I don't remember that technology they used. But yeah, the view angles were very poor. But yeah, I got very late on the adoption, and I think I will do the same thing in ultra wide, mainly because even in terms of gaming, there is not, at least my perception is like a huge wide support on that. But yeah, when it's something that is like the same thing that it is 16:9. Everybody use it minimum. I might adopt that, mainly because the when you start to get to do a lot of workarounds to take full advantage of a ultra wide monitor, it's too much hassle for me. But yeah, these are the new monitors. They supposedly are going to launch like January 2024. Regarding gaming news, Devolver Digital acquires Astroneer, a developer, for around 40 millions. It's like around half of it is in cash, the other is in stocks, whatever it is. Interesting. Astroneers, I remember this was about to come out at the time. They were, I don't know if I don't know, remember if they started with Kickstarter, but I know they were in early access for a time, and then they launched the game. I think it's part of the. It goes in line to a certain degree in certain parts of the strategy from Devolver Digital. They are basically an indie publisher. In terms of at least the games they publish are very indie in their portfolio. And I think this has to do more about the expensive content, because I think Astroneer is like something that they been adding content throughout the years, and how that integrates on the platform of the game itself per se. And I suppose that kind of expertise, because usually you don't have in indie developers, they do just the game and that's it. They just patch and everything, but there is no like integration of, let's say, DLCs or added content that might for a multiplayer game or something like that. Usually you don't see that much. But yeah, maybe that like the know-how is worth 40 million. I don't know. But yeah, they seem to be in good shape. Astroneer, I don't think that they were like in any trouble, so I think it's like have a little merger there to ramp up a little bit the know-how and how to help out indie developers to better their experience and launching games. But yeah, it's interesting to see that in the indie scene. Got also some Remedy things here happening. They did the half-year report with investors. Finnish studio, seems that Alan Wake Remastered, I think it's only available on Epic Game Store, at least at the moment. The remastered version finally got recouped its development and marketing investments in the last quarter. So at least at the moment, from starting from now, if there are sales being done, it's profit, which is good. Also, there is the other projects they are working on. The Control multiplayer spin-off, codename Condor, and Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes. They are now basically in production readiness stage, so they went from proof of concept to production stage, basically. Control 2 was described by the CEO Virtala as an ambition project that will stay in the proof of concept stage for a few more quarters. And they have something Vanguard, a game Vanguard regarding with Tencent. I think only like by the end of 2023. So by the end of this year, we'll leave also proof of concept stage. Again, it's good to see that at least they are taking their time and trying to make sure that everything is on quality, in terms of on par quality of what they want to achieve. Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes seems pretty good. I remember playing the first one, at least first one. It can be a little bit rough in the edges at this moment in time, because it's been a lot of years since it came out, but it was very, very excellent at the time. I remember the slow-mo mechanic was like revolutionary at the time. That there was nothing anything like that heard of. But the story itself, how it's told, like a comic book panel and everything, and the story itself seems pretty good. The movie adaptation was not that good, but yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, seems good that at least these two remakes can be at least on par in terms of quality with the third one. I think the third one was published by Take-Two, not mistaken. I think it was the same engine that now the Red Dead Redemption and everything was made of. Not mistaken. I'm not sure. A little bit fuzzy on details on that one. And yeah, the Control multiplayer spin-off, I don't know. I did again. It's one of those that I want to play. It's the Alan Wake remastered. Then go to Control, and then in the near future do the Alan Wake 2 to see what it's all about, the interconnected world and how it connects. And I need some refresher on the Alan Wake kind of a story there, which will be good if I play the thing. And yeah, continuing, we got Resident Evil 9. Yesterday I talked about some teases that by the end of March, if not mistaken, Capcom might announce something. I talked about Resident Evil, the next one, but I didn't think that much that the new Resident mainline game will come out. Because the Resident Evil 8, it didn't. We didn't take that time since the Resident Evil Village came out, so I thought it will take a little bit more time. And basically, that is it. May not be the right. They're talking about might not be a direct sequel to Village. It's kind of closing the Winter Saga, which started with Resident Evil 7, and at the same time trying to bring up a new story arc while closing another one. But I think that they're talking about this guy, the leaker, that supposedly usually it's right on the money usually regarding these kind of things in Resident Evil and Capcom stuff, reiterated that the game isn't releasing before 2025 at the earliest, unless development proceeds super well as it did with Resident Evil 4 Remake. But yeah, again, maybe by the end of next year we might see something regarding Resident Evil 9. But yeah, I'm not sure what kind of a game Capcom is going to launch by the end of, until the end of the March of next year. But yeah, at least we got kind of update, even though it's a rumor regarding Resident Evil 9. At least I get a rough idea where it lands in terms of the thing. I really enjoyed the soft reboot. Again, I did the series at the time with the Resident Evil 7. I really enjoyed the fact that it's like first person, and the way they went about it. It's very terrifying. It's a good horror game there. And again, I didn't play the Village. It's one of those when I have time and money to buy all the games, especially the remakes. Also, I might not go through all of them, but at least the remakes, and focusing more on the newer games, like starting for the mainline 7, 8, and when it comes 9, and then doing the remake stuff, like the ones that are in promotion at this moment. For sure, I prefer to focus on that. I'm not huge and dedicated fan to have to play everything. I just like to be entertained, and fixed camera games not very well for me. That's why I didn't play too much of Resident Evil, the older ones. We got news from Lizopi, or P. I suppose P because it's called Pinocchio. But I always remember the pie, the signal pie, and I don't like pies by itself, the food stuff. But yeah, again, I'm divergent. Liza P, director, Jin Won Choi, addresses fan. So basically, patch coming. They are going to do some balancing on the weapon stuff, and also unlock. Oh my god, the yellow was not the best color. Rising dodge. I think it's a very decent mechanic here, or essential mechanic. I think it's going to be unlocked without the need to the organ stuff. Again, I didn't play the game, so I'm just basically reading what they say here. And they also have this vendor Polendina also selling extra 2 quartz, so a little bit to get a better build, or to have more quartz, which I assume it's like an unlockable for the things here for you to get your build right. And some DLC teased with some concept art here. We got a ship here and a lab kind of a setting here. It's just concept art. They didn't have like footage. Got this skin here from Alidoro. Again, I didn't play the game, so I'm not very well. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff. And they mentioned bypassing Liza Pi 2. or Liza P2, sorry. But yeah, this is some stuff. I assume, yeah, the patch coming in November with the weapon balance and performance changes, so I think it's going to be more sleeker. But yeah, at the moment, this is what I got here for Liza of P. I'm going to wrap up some gaming deals. We got a lot of them. We got still Evil Within 2 free on Epic Game Store until tomorrow, at least in my time. Today it's the 1st of November, so we still have like 1 day and a half, give or take, to get the game for free. And of course, I'm doing a series on this one currently. I'm also, I think 1 or 2 episodes and I will finish up for sure. We are basically on the final stretch there. We got on Steam Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, around 1 day and a half, give or take, until the deal is over. We got Children of Morta, also great game, 75% off, again, around 1 day and a half, or at least 1 day at the time of publishing the video here. And we got Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy, 75% off. Very good game, because I think the story is very good. The characters are more in line with the comic book instead of the movie stuff, which is very interesting to see. Even though some design seems to have some influences from the movies, because it's more visually appealing to at least to recognize them. Yeah, till the 6th of November, we got still Red Dead Redemption 2, 60% off. The Ultimate Edition has some extra stuff here. Yeah, if you want to take a chance, the Ultimate Edition is also 65% off. And yeah, instead of $90, it's a lot. It's a good deal here. And of course, until the 6th of November, we got the Resident Evil. All of them are on sale, including the Resident Evil 4 remake. I will leave the list of all of them, of the ones that are on my wish list. That includes at least until the Resident Evil 4 remake, and of course all the remasters, the 7 and all that jazz. Until at least till 7th November, we got a lot, like 6 days still to get 1 or 2 games here at least. I think that they seem pretty good. We got Marvel's Midnight Sun. Again, this is very in line with the same guys from XCOM, Firaxis Games. It's pretty good. Same kind of deal to a certain degree, but with the deck building mechanic incorporated it. I watched the Dark Hunter Path from Christopher Rod, and I really enjoyed the interaction between the characters. The story seems pretty good. Again, this is more comic book design, and kind of the characters are more influenced by the comic books instead of the movies. And it was very interesting. The Midnight Suns kind of a thing there. The characters there are very interesting, and it's 60% off until the 13th of November. We got the Tomb Raider franchise. Sometimes I forget to check my library because it doesn't appear on my wish list, the things that are on my library. What can I do? But yeah, the Tomb Raider franchise, it's on sale. 80% 80% on the first one. On the second one, 75% off. And in the third one, where is it? Should be here, bundle info. Okay, it should be around that, but I think it's like $8 everything together, the definitive edition. So it's a good deal here. And lastly, we got Deus Ex franchise, the Human Revolution Director's Cut, 85% off. And lastly, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, 85% off. I've got this one. I think I got everything. Yeah, I got everything. It's one of those games that I want to go about it and see how it fares. I'm not sure if it is in terms of it's an older one, 2016. This is kind of around the time that I managed to I stopped playing games because I didn't have hardware for that. So it's going to be interesting to take a deep dive in another era of that game, same as like The Evil Within 2 and a lot of the games that are being, even XCOM 2, it came out also into 2016. It's basically kind of the thing that I'm going to start for and forward there to catch up at least 5 years of gaming that I missed out. But yeah, this was supposedly pretty good in terms of graphics. We'll see how it goes when I eventually go about this game. But yeah, basically this is it. A lot of stuff in terms of gaming deals here. Yeah, it's Halloween. And afterwards, when it comes to Christmas, for sure you will have more deals here. And I'm going to wrap up for today, guys, with my Patreon page. For extra support, that extra support will go at this moment for storage, which at the moment I will need. My urgency is getting more storage, basically for the backups of my projects that I do for my private clients, and of course space to get the video footage that I do for the channel at the moment. And yeah, basically this is it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.